Hello, 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 check. Hello, hello, check. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello.
Check, check.
Ramya, can you go at the back and see?
Check, check. Hello. Hello. Check.
Ashwin?
Hello. Check, check. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request everyone to kindly take your seats. Everyone at the back as well, please take your seats. कृपया बैठ जाइए. Please keep your mobile phones on silent mode. Kindly remain seated throughout the ceremony, unless requested otherwise. An official photographer has been arranged for today's event. We request everyone to avoid coming to the front of the stage during the program. A photo booth has been arranged near the back entry reception area, where you may capture memories after the ceremony. There is an exit door on my right. Washrooms are located outside the hall towards the left. हम सभी मेहमानों और ग्रेजुएट्स से निवेदन करते हैं कि कृपया अपने मोबाइल फ़ोन्स को साइलेंट मोड पर रखें और पूरे कार्यक्रम के दौरान अपनी सीट पर बैठे रहें। बैक एंट्रेंस के रिसेप्शन एरिया में एक फ़ोटो बूथ उपलब्ध है, जहां आप इस अवसर की यादें को तस्वीरें में सजो सकते हैं। मेरे दाहिने तरफ बाहर निकलने का दरवाज़ा है, वॉशरूम्स हॉल के बाहर बाएं तरफ है। धन्यवाद। सुप्रभात, कालवनकम, a very good morning to all. Distinguished dignitaries, respective faculty, mentors, alumni, graduates, and others present here. I welcome all of you to the much awaited graduation ceremony of the Intermediate Field Epidemiology Training Program Chhattisgarh Cohort 2. Today we celebrate not merely the completion of the course, but a year-long journey of learning, mentorship, collaboration, and commitment to strengthening public health in Chhattisgarh. Over the past year, we have closely worked with the Chhattisgarh State Department and their nominated officers from across the state to strengthen their competencies in applied epidemiology, surveillance, outbreak investigation, program evaluation, operational research, and evidence-based public health practices. This ceremony celebrates not only academic achievement, but also a commitment to protecting communities through science, collaboration, and public health service. We are honored to have eminent leaders from academia, public health, and government with us to celebrate this important milestone. To commence today's program, may I respectfully invite our distinguished dignitaries to the dais. Dr. P.K. Patra, Vice Chancellor, Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay Memorial Health Sciences and Ayush University of Chhattisgarh. Dr. Manoj Morekar, Scientist G and Director, ICMR NI Chennai. Ms. Laurie Fuller, Deputy Country Director, US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, India. Dr. Khemra Sonwani, Deputy Director and State Surveillance Officer, Directorate of Health Services, Government of Chhattisgarh. Dr. Ganesh Kumar, Scientist E and Course Coordinator, India FETP at ICMR NI Chennai. Dr. Archana R, Scientist F, ICMR NI Chennai. May I request everyone to give our dignitaries a warm, loud round of applause to take their seats. I respectfully invite our distinguished dignitaries on the stage for the ceremonial lamp lighting and floral offering to Goddess Saraswati, symbolizing knowledge, wisdom, and enlightenment.
या शुभ्रवस्त्राविता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करा प्रभृतिभिः देवै सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाज्ञापहामि शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसार परमा आद्यां जगद्यापिनी वीणा पुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदां जायान्धकारावृतां आस्ते स्वाटिकमालिकां विदधति पद्मासने संसितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवती.
Thank you, respected guests. May I request everyone to kindly rise for the Vande Mataram followed by state song.
हरियर रंग तोरे बोली जैसे सुखर मैना अचरा तोरे डोलावे पूरवैया महू पाव परो तोरे भुइया जय
Thank you, everyone. Kindly be seated. It is time to felicitate our respectable dignitaries. I request Dr. Manoj Marekar to felicitate Dr. Patra, our Vice Chancellor from DDU. Applause, everyone. Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Archana R to greet our guest of honor, Ms. Fuller. Thank you, ma'am. I request Dr. Ganesh Kumar to felicitate Dr. Sonwani, sir, from our State Health Department. I request Dr. Ramya to felicitate our registrar, sir, from the university. Sir, kindly come on stage. A big round of applause, everyone. Thank you, sir, ma'am, everyone. Every memorable event begins with a heartfelt welcome. I now invite Dr. Ganesh Kumar to deliver the welcome address. Sir, please.
Check. Jai Johar. Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I invite you all for this Field Epidemiology Training Program Intermediate Chhattisgarh Cohort 2 graduation ceremony. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Patra sir, who chairs this morning's proceedings, I welcome you. Ms. Laurie Fuller, Deputy Country Director, CDC India, our guest of honor, I welcome you to Chhattisgarh. Dr. Kemraj Sonwani, Deputy Director and State Surveillance Officer, Directorate of Health Services, Chhattisgarh, welcome you, sir. Dr. Manoj Murekar, the Program Director and our Institute Director, ICMR National Institute of Epidemiology, welcome you, sir. Distinguished faculty, colleagues from ICMR NIE, and respected officials and dignitaries from the university, the mentors, district supervisors who have come across this state, welcome you all. The 14 officers of the intermediate FETP Chhattisgarh Cohort 1 graduated last year. And this year, 16 officers are getting graduated. They are drawn from 11 districts of Chhattisgarh. And the families who carried the extra load at home, so they could carry this one also. The graduation certificates back to the home. Welcome them also. A very warm welcome to each one of you. A convocation usually marks the end of period of a course, but this one does not. While these officers were learning how to investigate the outbreak, Chhattisgarh had one, Gulenberry syndrome, last year in Korea district. They did not study the outbreaks afterwards. They did not study the outbreak from a hybrid or a distance mode. They studied that outbreak as a teaching case, as part of this FETP course. They investigated it when it has happened, with their regular duties still sitting on their desk. It's not the separate work, it's a regular duties also they were performing it. That is the difference between the program and every other course any of us in this room has attended, and there was no pause button in their work also. So what we are marking this morning is not end of any training. This is not an end of training. It is the point where Chhattisgarh public health system formally takes possession of what they have become, which is the field epidemiologist. I want to tell you that one of the officer of this cohort, I'm not going to say their name, when GBS cluster appeared in Korea, Okay, they investigated it. And every one of the 5 contact sessions on this campus, every single one, they made a very long journey to get there, to get here. Not once, 5 times. 5 times this has happened in this university. I really thankful to them. The outbreak did not wait for them and the course did not wait for them. Both happened simultaneously and they did both. Let me name one more thing that will not appear in anybody's certificate which they are going to receive it. The protocol for all these investigations, whichever has been done, and it is rewritten, not 1 or 2 times, 4 times it underwent revisions. I know that what it takes to open and file and begin again, but that persistence is not incident to the epidemiology. It is the discipline of the epidemiology. So to the families here in this morning, for the last year, someone in your household had been reading case definitions at 11 o'clock at night, attending calls of outbreak investigation at weary hours every other day when the outbreaks were happening it. Thank you for making room for that actually. What they were doing mattered. They were like kind of the silent angels who do not have into the limelight. They work under the background and to make people's lives safer and longer. This cohort exists because several institutions choose to make it exist. And the government of Chhattisgarh nominated these officers and they did harder thing. Protected their time to attend the course and as well as conduct these investigations. Dr. Sonwani, our thanks to you and to the State Surveillance Unit. The Ayush University of the Chhattisgarh, where we are currently sitting, hosted every one of the 5 contact sessions of this cohort and host us again today also. Honorable Vice Chancellor, for the full year, this university has been our classroom. This has been our discussion room. Of course, always the learning of epidemiology is not just fantastic, it is fantastic actually. And CDC India partnership with ICMR NIE, now approaching nearly around 25 years of making the field epidemiology program. Dr. Fuller, welcome you for that actually. And our mentors, district supervisors, roughly 3/4 of these officers learned in the field, learning by doing under you, and you will be honored formally of a 10 past 12 and rightly so actually. And one group that no agenda item covers is that the graduates of the cohort 2. They were not, cohort 1. They were not assigned as mentors, but they were actually supported this cohort's field investigation. In a few minutes, Dr. Archana will place the program in the national context and Dr. Ramya will take you to the journey of the cohort. But the part I would ask you to listen to most closely is that the 2 stories which is going to come from the field and the program evaluation findings which our graduates are going to present. I will say one thing plainly. 10 abstracts have been prepared from this cohort. Manuscripts have been prepared. They've been submitted. Beyond the scientific outputs, there were improvement in the surveillance has also happened and state health system also has happened in that. So on behalf of ICMR NIE and India FETP, you are all very welcome for this particular graduation ceremony. Jai Johar. Let us begin. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your warm words of welcome and for setting the tone for today's celebration. Before we proceed with the various presentations planned for the day, I request the dignitaries seated on the stage to carefully take their seats in front row in audience and enjoy rest of the event. Volunteers, please help them. Field epidemiology has transformed public health practice by developing professionals who learn through service. Over the past 2 decades, ICMR NIE has nurtured hundreds of epidemiologists who now lead surveillance and response system across the country. I now invite Dr. Archana to take us through this program's evolution, achievements, and impact. Ma'am, kindly come on the dais.
Thank you, Jilam, and good morning to everyone. So, I would be taking you through what is the vision mission of ICMR NIE and how FETP folds into the entire story. So, the vision with which the founding fathers of the Institute of Epidemiology was started, they said that this institute should serve as a catalyst for a vibrant health system through responsive research, education, training, and service. So it has been the mission of everyone at NIE to sort of strengthen the health system through various activities. All the research that we do, the training programs that we conduct, all cater to this goal. NIE has a long history of field epidemiology training programs. We started as early as 2001 when it was called as the Masters of Applied Epidemiology program. Over the years, we have tried different models. We have the 2-year Advanced Full Deputation Master of Public Health program. We have the in-service 2-year as well as 1-year programs, which are the Advanced Field Epi programs started in 2018, and the intermediate programs, which we have started from 2021. And as of 2022, we also realized that it is important to involve states who are critical partners, and therefore we started what we call as the state model of intermediate in-service field epi training programs. And as we go through the slides, I'm going to take you through some of the important aspects of each of these training programs. So as we all know, some of the critical core competencies that FETP programs across the globe cater to involve public health surveillance, outbreak investigation, evaluation of programs, epi method teachings, and also communicating the findings to scientific as well as to public health audience. We do these core competency trainings through field assignments, each one field assignment tied to a core competency, and therefore all our students do learning by doing, which is what Dr. Ganesh said in the morning. So they do not learn only the theory methods, but they do each field assignment and then they gain the core competency by doing it under mentorship. Over the years, ICMR NIE, to satisfy the growing needs of the demands for this country's epi expectancy, we have developed various forms of field epidemiology training modules. We do have the advanced versions where we have the full deputation version, which leads to a certification of Master of Public Health. And then we do have the fellowship versions, which give the Epidemic Intelligence Service certificates, as well as FETP and NCD certificates. We have the 1-year in-service model, which is the intermediate field epidemiology model. And here we have both national level cohorts as well as cohorts which focus on states. And currently we have graduated cohorts from Odisha and Chhattisgarh. And as you will see in the further slides, we have moved to other states like West Bengal and Kerala. So the ICMR School of Public Health runs several courses, as I told you, but over the years, we have trained almost 463 graduates who are trained field epidemiologists, and of them, 112 are actually FETP trainees through this course. As I said, the Masters of Public Health program, which is affiliated to the Chhattisgarh University in Trivandrum, is a 2-year 2-year full-time deputed program. Here, officers who work within the state and districts come to NIE for a full 2-year program, and then they do 70% field activities and 30% classroom training. Over the years, we have realized that in this form, deputation for a full 2 years becomes quite challenging for the state governments and also for the officers to leave behind their families and come to NIE full-time. And that is why we started the in-service training models. The first of its kind is the India EIS and FETP NCD, which is the 2-year advanced program, which we ran from 2018. And in these 2-year programs, the officers remain in their service station. They only come down to NIE for the contact sessions, and then our mentors would travel to the field and then train them for their field assignments. So that is how this course started. And then over time, we realized that many of the officers at the district level do not require the 2-year intense program. And therefore, we evolved the intermediate model of FETP, which already existed. So FETP has 3 tiers. So we adopted the intermediate tier for India, and we started the national as well as the state model. And Chhattisgarh is one of the states which has successfully done the state model of intermediate training. Here, the officers are with us for a period of 1 year, but they are still in their place of service. And we come to the state. Usually we organize along with the state the contact sessions. In Chhattisgarh, we of course did it with the kind help of the university. And then over a period of 9 to 12 months, they gain their competencies and they graduate. We are happy to share in Chhattisgarh, we have had 2 cohorts successfully completing today, and we have covered 22 districts and 28 scholars in these 2 cohorts. We also have another program in Odisha state where we have completed 39 scholars in 2 cohorts, and we have covered all the districts of Odisha. We are currently doing programs with the governments of Kerala and West Bengal. In Kerala right now we have 25 scholars from 9 out of the 14 districts, and in West Bengal we have got 14 out of the 23 districts covered with 15 scholars. So as you can see, we are trying to move on a mission mode. Many of you may be aware of the Government of India's vision through the One India FETP roadmap, where the government says that there should be at least 1 trained field epidemiologist in 1 district of the country. And therefore, you know that we require close to 750 plus trained people across the country, which requires scale-up of FETP, which is currently happening in the country, and we are happy to be part of this scale-up program. Also, we realize that having qualified mentors is one of the biggest bottlenecks for scaling up field epidemiology training program. And with this in mind, we started the faculty focus FETP training, and we are happy to share that we have got now trained people from other ICMR institutes like the National Institute of Virology, NITWAR, and also NIHR Bhubaneswar, along with candidates from NCTC and our partnering institutes like VHS, SafetyNet, who have been part of this faculty training. Over the years, NIE, through its field epidemiology and other public health related programs, has investigated over 300 plus outbreaks, 500 plus evaluations of disease and surveillance systems across the country, and we have done 300 plus epidemiological studies. So we are moving towards what our founding fathers laid for us. We are acting as a catalyst to strengthen the health systems of this country. And with that, I would close my talk. Thank you very much, and hand it over to Jeelam.
Thank you very much, Madam, for that insightful overview of the India Field Epidemiology Training Program. The India FETP fraternity came together for the alumni meet in 2025 in Chennai. A wonderful opportunity for alumni from across the country to reconnect, exchange experiences, celebrate achievements, and reflect on how the program has shaped their professional journeys. I now request everyone to direct your attention to the LED screen for a short video capturing some memorable moments from the India FETP alumni meet.
spoiler alert, it may give you some nostalgia or maybe trigger some mild trauma also.
ICMR National Institute of Epidemiology, I welcome you all to this wonderful occasion.
I found you passing by in cold December. Lost in view, but still your face and your gaze I remember. Looking at the diamonds in your eyes, shine in the pale moonlight. We've come so far, looking up above into the sky. Everything just seems so fine. This is our time. Into the night, I feel alive. At 59, when we feel
It's a true nostalgia every time we watch this video, how we miss our alumni, how we miss the connection we have developed over the years. Watching the alumni reconnect reminds us that the graduation is not the end of this journey. It is the beginning of a lifelong association with the India FETP community. Ladies and gentlemen, every successful journey has a beginning, a purpose, and a destination. The journey of IFETP Chhattisgarh Cohort 2 has been no different. Over the past years, the 16 officers have successfully balanced demanding responsibilities in their respective districts, while simultaneously undertaking a rigorous program of classroom learning and field assignments. To walk us through this remarkable journey, from the very first contact session to today's graduation ceremony, it is my pleasure to invite Dr. Ramya, who has closely guided and supported this cohort throughout their learning journey. Dr. Ramya.
Thank you, Jilam. Okay. Good morning. Respected dignitaries, distinguished guests, faculty members, mentors, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, and most importantly, our graduating field epidemiology training program intermediate cohort 2 officers. It is my privilege to take you through the remarkable journey of this cohort over the past year. Today is much more than a graduating ceremony. It is a celebration of dedication, learning, collaboration, and the transformation of public health professionals into skilled field epidemiologists who are better equipped to respond to the public health challenges in their community. As one of the mentors who had the opportunity to walk closely with this cohort, I have found it truly rewarding to witness their growth from enthusiastic learners to confident public health professionals capable of applying field epidemiological principles in real-world setting. Let us take a look back at their inspiring journey. Every graduate standing here today has completed a journey that extends far beyond classroom teaching. The program began in November 2024 and was carefully structured to combine classroom teaching with the extensive workplace-based training. Officers first developed a strong foundation in epidemiology, biostatistics, and data analysis. As the course progressed, they advanced to more complex competencies, including outbreak investigation, field investigations, program evaluation, surveillance system evaluation, and epidemiological research. Between each contact session, officers returned to their districts and applied their newly acquired skills to real public health problems under continuous mentorship. This learning by doing approach is what makes FETP unique and highly effective. The journey was observed into 5 intensive contact sessions, each building upon the previous one. Beginning with the fundamentals of epidemiology and biostatistics, officers progressed through research methodology, program evaluation, outbreak investigation, and scientific communication. However, the true learning happened between these sessions. Through workplace assignments, regular mentorship interaction, field visits, and continuous feedbacks, officers steadily developed the confidence and competency required for a field epidemiologist. The true success of any field epidemiology training program is measured not only by the number of lectures delivered, but also by the work officers accomplished in the field. Let us now take a look at some of the projects undertaken by the officers. The communicable disease officers addressed important public health priorities through a variety of field-based projects. They investigated a cluster of Guillain-Barré syndrome cases, conducted a matched case control study to understand the determinants of optimal reporting through the integrated health information platform, and assessed the sensitivity of the surveillance system. Each of these projects required officers to apply epidemiological methods to generate evidence that can directly strengthen the disease surveillance and outbreak preparedness within the state. The non-communicable disease officers undertook equally important projects focusing on the health system performance. They evaluated the hypertension program, assessed the sensitivity of the national NCD portal, and studied the mental health cascade in primary healthcare facilities. These projects not only strengthened the officers' technical competencies, but also generated evidence to inform program improvements and ultimately enhance the health service delivery. Behind every successful training program lies a strong support system. The success of this cohort has been made possible through the collective commitment of several institutions and individuals. We sincerely acknowledge the leadership of the government of Chhattisgarh, the state IDSP and NCD teams, Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay Memorial Health Sciences and Ayush University of Chhattisgarh, CDC India, Safety Net, and Voluntary Health Services, and everyone who supported the implementation of this program. Their commitment ensured that officers had access to training opportunities, mentorship, logistical support, and an enabling environment for learning. This collaborative services is also an example for how strong partnerships can build sustainable public health capacity. The first major technical assignment officers undertook was secondary data analysis. Our officers explored a wide range of public health issues under routinely collected program and surveillance data. The topics ranged from dengue, typhoid, filariasis, snakebite and animal bite to diabetes follow-up and mental health services. For many officers, this was their first opportunity to critically analyze program data and translate routine information into evidence for public health action. It marked an important step in developing the analytical thinking, especially for field epidemiologists. One of the most important comprehensive exercises during the course was the evaluation of the hypertension component of the National Program for Prevention and Control of Non-Communicable Diseases. Spanning 16 districts and 145 health facilities, this exercise involved interviewing healthcare providers at multiple levels and hundreds of individuals receiving hypertension services. Conducting a program evaluation of this scale required careful planning and coordination. As mentors, we found it extremely satisfying to see officers successfully navigate these challenges and produce findings with direct relevance to the program improvement. So these photographs beautifully capture what field epidemiology truly represents. Behind every dataset lies a journey to remote public health facilities, discussions with healthcare workers, interaction with communities, and countless hours spent understanding the public health program on the ground. These experiences are where technical knowledge is transformed into practical competencies. Another important component of the program was the epidemiological study. Officers work together across districts to investigate the determinants of optimal reporting through the IHIP portal. Beyond the scientific findings, this exercise strengthened the collaboration, communication, teamwork, and problem-solving qualities that are just as important as technical expertise in a public health practice. These photos remind us that the epidemiology is never an individual effort. Every successful investigation reflects the collective contribution of district teams, healthcare workers, program managers, mentors, and officers working towards a common goal. This spirit of collaboration is one of the greatest strengths of the FETP program. Our officers also conducted field investigation to assess the sensitivity of both communicable and non-communicable disease surveillance systems. These studies helped identify strengths, gaps, and opportunities for improving the surveillance performance. Ultimately, stronger surveillance system leads to earlier detection, more effective response, and better protection of population health. One of the defining features of the FETP model is mentorship. Throughout this program, mentors worked closely with officers, not only to review protocols and analysis, but also to encourage critical thinking, troubleshooting challenges, and support professional growth. These field visits provided valuable opportunity for discussion, reflection, and shared learning. For all of us who served as mentor, it has been a privilege to accompany this cohort throughout their journey. Today, we celebrate the achievement of this remarkable cohort. Over the past 2 years, we have witnessed their growth from learning the fundamentals of epidemiology to independently designing studies, conducting field investigations, analyzing data, and presenting scientific evidence. The knowledge and skills they have acquired will not end with this graduation. Rather, they will continue to strengthen the disease surveillance, improve the program, and ultimately contribute to the better health outcome of the people of Chhattisgarh. This is the true success of this program. To date, 34 public healthcare professionals have successfully graduated from the FETP programs, representing 20 districts across the state. Of the 34, 2 have graduated from the advanced FETP and 32 have graduated from the intermediate course. The graduates represent both IDSP as well as the NPNCD program. It is also encouraging to note the strong participation of women who contribute to nearly 60% of the graduates, reflecting the growing leadership of women in public health. Today, we are proud to celebrate the graduation of 16 officers from Cohort 2, who now join the growing network of trained field epidemiologists. Each graduating cohort strengthens the state's public health workforce. Behind every milestone we have seen today are countless hours of classroom learning, field visits, discussions with mentors, and most importantly, a commitment to improve public health in Chhattisgarh. Today, we congratulate our officers on graduating and reaching this important milestone. Their journey through FETP has equipped them with knowledge, skills, and confidence to address public health challenges using evidence-based approach. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ramya, for taking us through the remarkable journey of IFETP Chhattisgarh Cohort 2. We indeed did a lot of work together. Field epidemiologists are often described as disease detectives. They investigate outbreaks, analyze surveillance data, identify program gaps, and provide evidence that guides public health action. Every field visit represents a new challenge, every investigation offers a new lesson, and every interaction with community strengthens our understanding of public health. We will now hear one such inspiring journey from one of our graduating officers. Through this story, we will gain an insight into the experiences, challenges, and lessons learned through the FETP journey. I now invite Dr. Upadhyay, the district epidemiologist from Korea, to share their story from the field on investigating an outbreak of suspected Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is GBS in 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our speaker with a warm round of applause.
वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू। आप सभी को सुप्रभात। मेरा नाम डॉक्टर अभय जुगल तिर्की है। मैं जिला कोरिया में डिस्ट्रिक्ट एपिडेमोलॉजिस्ट के पद पे कार्यरत हूँ और IFETP कोहॉर्ट 2 का ग्रेजुएटेड हूँ। मैं आपको हमारे द्वारा किए गए एक आउटब्रेक इन्वेस्टिगेशन की कहानी सुनाना चाहता हूँ। जिला कोरिया में खुट्टनपारा गांव में दो घरों के बीच की दूरी लगभग 500 मीटर है। देखने में यह बस एक दूरी है, लेकिन मार्च 2025 में यही दूरी हमें एक ऐसे आउटब्रेक तक ले गई जिसने हमें बहुत कुछ सिखाया। 19 मार्च 2025 को स्टेट सर्विलेंस यूनिट से मुझे फ़ोन आया। डॉक्टर खेमराज सोनवानी सर, जो हमारे डिप्टी डायरेक्टर सर हैं, और डॉक्टर चैनिका मैम ने बताया कि रायपुर के मेकाहारा अस्पताल में 15 साल की एक लड़की भर्ती है। डॉक्टरों ने उनके लक्षणों के आधार पर गुलेन-बायर सिंड्रोम, जिसे हम GBS भी कहते हैं, की आशंका थी। राज्य टीम के निर्देश पर मुझे गांव जाकर केस की पुष्टि करने और जांच शुरू करने की जिम्मेदारी दी गई। मैं उसी दिन खुट्टनपारा गांव पहुंचा। सबसे पहले हमने परिवार के साथ बैठकर पूरी बात सुनी। मरीज बैकुंठपुर के आत्मानंद स्कूल की 10वीं कक्षा की छात्रा थी। वह सुबह जब उठी तो उसने दोनों पैरों में कमजोरी पता चली और वह चल नहीं पा रही थी। हमने उसकी पूरी हिस्ट्री ली, मितानिनों और गांव के स्वास्थ्य टीम को जागरूक किया और घर घर सर्वे कराया। पहली जांच में ऐसा कोई दूसरा मामला नहीं मिला। इसकी जानकारी हमने स्टेट सर्विलेंस यूनिट को भेज दी। यहीं पर हमारी जांच खत्म हो सकती थी, लेकिन तभी मरीज की मां ने एक बात बताई। उन्होंने कहा कि उनके घर से लगभग 500 मीटर दूर रहने वाले 2 और बच्चों में भी इसी तरह की कमजोरी हुई थी। वे अलग अलग परिवारों और अलग अलग स्कूलों से थे, लेकिन बीमारी लगभग एक ही समय में हुई थी। यहीं से हमारी जांच ने नया मोड़ लिया। हमने तुरंत ICMR, NI और WHO को इसकी जानकारी दी। स्टूल और सीरम के सैंपल कलेक्ट कर ICMR, NIV पुणे भेजे गए। इसके बाद हमारी टीम कई बार उन्हीं घरों में वापस गई, क्योंकि फील्ड में पहली बार ली गई हिस्ट्री हमेशा पूरी नहीं होती। जिला रैपिड रिस्पांस टीम ICMR, NI, WHO और PHE विभाग के साथ मिलकर हमने हर घर का दोबारा दौरा किया। PHE विभाग ने पानी के सैंपल जांच करने के लिए WHO की टीम ने 15 वर्ष से कम उम्र के बच्चों का स्टूल सैंपल दोबारा एकत्र किया, क्योंकि ये सभी AFI सर्विलेंस के अंतर्गत भी आते थे। सैंपल जांच के लिए ISO लैब कोलकाता भेजा गया। इसी दौरान सभी स्वास्थ्य संस्थाओं और RRT टीमों को GBS के लक्षणों के बारे में हमने और भी जागरूक किया। इसका परिणाम यह हुआ कि समुदाय से एक और संभावित GBS की सूचना हमें मिली। इसकी पूरी जांच में ICMR, NI की टीम का लगातार मार्गदर्शन मिला। डॉक्टर मोहन, डॉक्टर नेसन और झीलम मैम ने हर चरण पर तकनीकी सहायता दी। उनके साथ मिलकर हमने विस्तृत प्रश्नावली या क्वेश्चनरीज तैयार की गई। सभी केसेस की जानकारी एकत्र की गई, उसका डेटाबेस बनाया गया और नियमित रूप से स्टेट सर्विलेंस यूनिट को रिपोर्ट भेजी गई। उनके मार्गदर्शन में हमने यह समझा कि किसी भी आउटब्रेक की जांच केवल सैंपल लेने तक सीमित नहीं होती, बल्कि सही सवाल पूछने और हर छोटे संकेतों को ध्यान से देखने की ज़रूरत होती है। कुछ सुराग किसी निष्कर्ष तक नहीं पहुँचे, कुछ हमें रायपुर के निजी अस्पतालों तक ले गए, जहां परिवार अपने बच्चों को पहले ही इलाज के लिए ले जा चुके थे। लगभग हर मरीज में कमजोरी आने से पहले किसी न किसी बीमारी का इतिहास मिला। एक परिवार ने यह भी बताया कि वे घर में एक बिल्ली पालते हैं। उस समय यह जानकारी महत्वपूर्ण लगे या नहीं, यह पता नहीं था, लेकिन हमने उसे भी दर्ज कर लिया। फील्ड एपिडेमोलॉजी में कोई भी जानकारी छोटी नहीं होती। इस बीच रायपुर में भर्ती मरीज की हालत गंभीर हो रही थी। उनके माता पिता हमसे जवाब चाहते थे, लेकिन उस समय हमारे पास सभी जवाब नहीं थे। इसलिए हमने अपनी जांच का दायरा बढ़ाया। जिले के सभी स्वास्थ्य केंद्रों, आसपास के जिलों और अस्पतालों में जाकर संभावित मामलों की खोज शुरू की। अंबिकापुर मेडिकल कॉलेज, ICMR NI पुणे, एम्स रायपुर और रायपुर मेडिकल कॉलेज के साथ समन्वय किया गया। स्टेट सर्विलेंस यूनिट ने भी लगातार सहयोग किया। हर शाम डिस्ट्रिक्ट टीम से मैं ICMR NI टीम, ICMR NIV पुणे और राज्य स्तर की टीम कॉन्फ्रेंस पर जुड़ती थी। हम हर दिन यही समझने की कोशिश करते थे, प्रभावित बच्चे कौन हैं, वे कहाँ से हैं, बीमारी कब शुरू हुई, इसका पैटर्न क्या है, और क्या इन सभी मामलों के बीच वास्तव में कोई संबंध है। सर्विलेंस के दौरान सूरजपुर जिले की सीमा से भी एक पुराने मामले की जानकारी मिली। धीरे धीरे अलग अलग केसेस को जोड़ने पर एक तस्वीर साफ होने लगी। अब यह सिर्फ एक जांच नहीं रह गई थी, बल्कि एक जिम्मेदारी बन गई थी। हमने सभी अस्पतालों को सतर्क रहने, संदिग्ध मामलों की तुरंत सूचना देने और ज़रूरत पड़ने पर ICU की तैयारी रखने के निर्देश दिए। समुदाय को भी बताया गया, यदि किसी व्यक्ति में अचानक कमजोरी, झुनझुनी या चलने में कठिनाई हो तो देर ना करें और तुरंत अस्पताल लाएं। इस पूरे अनुभव से मुझे सबसे बड़ी सीख यह मिली कि कोई भी आउटब्रेक अचानक दिखाई नहीं देता। उसकी शुरुआत अक्सर छोटी छोटी बातों से होती है। किसी माँ की एक साधारण सी बात, किसी दूर के अस्पताल में भर्ती एक मरीज, और ऐसी जानकारी जो पहली नज़र में महत्वपूर्ण नहीं लगती। फील्ड एपिडेमोलॉजी हमें यही सिखाती है, केवल प्रोटोकॉल का पालन करना ही काफ़ी नहीं है। हमें हमेशा जिज्ञासु बने रहना चाहिए, ध्यान से सुनना चाहिए और खुद से बार बार पूछना चाहिए, क्या कहीं ऐसा कोई सुराग तो नहीं जो हमें नज़र से छूट रहा है। यह हमारी आउटब्रेक की कहानी है। धन्यवाद।
Thank you very much for sharing those interesting experiences. Your journey reminds us that epidemiology is ultimately about people, understanding communities, identifying problems, generating evidence, and translating that evidence into meaningful public health action. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most valuable components of the intermediate field epidemiology training program is the opportunity to apply newly acquired competencies through field-based projects. These projects are not merely academic experiences, they address real program challenges faced by the public health systems. It is now my pleasure to invite Dr. Vidya and Mr. Sandeep to present their project on evaluation of National NCD Control Program in Chhattisgarh. Please welcome our speakers with another warm round of applause.
Thank you, ma'am. So, good afternoon, everyone. I am Sandeep Meshram. Today, on behalf of our cohort, we are going to represent a result of program evaluation, CAL, titled Evaluation of Hypertension Component of the NPNCD in Primary Government Health Facilities in Selected District in Chhattisgarh between June and July 2025. Non-communicable diseases caused nearly 2/3 of deaths in India, with cardiovascular diseases as the major contributor. Cardiovascular diseases account of 45% of deaths among adult age 40 to 69 years. Hypertension is a leading risk factor, particularly in adult aged 40 to 69 years. Globally, the prevalence of hypertension is 33%, whereas as per NFHS 5, the prevalence of hypertension is 23%. In Chhattisgarh, hypertension affects roughly 1 in 4 adult with higher prevalence among men than women. NPNCD stands for National Program for Prevention and Control of Non-Communicable Diseases. It was launched in Chhattisgarh in 2015 and restructured in 2023. And it strengthened its services through the Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centers. The NPNCD follows a comprehensive approach to hypertension management. It begins with prevention of hypertension and health promotion to reduce risk factors, followed by screening of early identification of cases. Individuals diagnosed with hypertension receive standardized treatment with referral mechanism in place for patient requiring higher level of care. This program also focuses on capacity building of healthcare workers and continuous monitoring and evaluation to ensure quality service delivery and improve program performance. Nationally, only 36.7% of individuals with hypertension are diagnosed, and among those diagnosed, only 44.7% are treated, and among those treated, only 52.3% achieve blood pressure control. Hence, evaluation is crucial to gain insight into the gaps in implementation and the recommended strategies for improvement. The objective of this program evaluation was to assess the extent of implementation of various interventions at the primary government health facilities for two arms: opportunistic screening and treatment follow-up of the hypertension component as per the NPNCD program guideline in selected districts. Chhattisgarh has a population of approximately 2.55 crore. The state comprises of 33 districts across 5 administrative divisions and has a substantial tribal population. We conducted a cross-sectional study in primary government health facility across 15 districts of Chhattisgarh during June to July 2025. The study population included medical officers, rural medical assistant, staff nurses, and individuals with hypertension on treatment, that is beneficiaries. The study includes medical officers, RMAs, NCD staff nurses, and individuals with hypertension on treatment. We interview one MO and RMA and one staff nurse per facility. Based on availability and up to 5 beneficiaries visiting the facility on the day of visit taken consecutively. We visited primary health centers to observe facilities with checklist and conduct facility survey, interview medical officers, rural medical assistant, NCD staff nurses, individual with hypertension available on the day of serving using semi-structured questionnaires. In this slide, we have listed the key operational definitions relevant to the study which is given in this slide, which include hypertension diagnosis, BP under control, yield, measuring BP correctly, and functioning BP monitor. We used the CDC's log frame matrix to explain the key indicators of our study. For input, we look at trained staff, BP monitors, NCD clinic register, IC material, trained staff, and drug availability. For process, BP measurement, refresher training, counseling, and drug dispensing. For outcome, yield, regular follow-ups, and BP control status. We visited selected facilities and interviewed NCD clinic staff. We observed the BP measurement process. Then we interviewed medical officers, rural medical assistants, and staff nurses. We also interviewed the individual with hypertension who visited on the survey day. And we finally reviewed medical records and filled out checklist and questionnaire on ODK. We used Open Data Kit, collect Android application for data collection. We performed data cleaning and analysis of MS Excel. The quantitative variables were summarized using median and IQR, and qualitative variables using proportional. We obtained Institutional Ethics Committee approval from ICMR NIH Chennai and collected a signed consent from the staff and beneficiary interview. We ensured to mask the identifiers and for data security and confidentiality. Now, I will hand over to Dr. Vidya to throw the result of this project. Thank you.
Good morning all. Myself Dr. Vidya S, District Nodal Officer from District KCG. In our program evaluation, we surveyed around 145 facilities, 127 medical officers, 280 staff nurses, and 421 individuals with hypertension. I'll first show you the results of opportunistic screening evaluation. Here, in this horizontal bar graph, here we can see the proportion of the I'll show you first the results of the opportunistic screening evaluation. Here, in this horizontal bar graph, we see the proportion of the input indicators for opportunistic screening arm in terms of logistic resources, which are represented on the y-axis and the percentage along the x-axis. We found more than 80% of the facilities had functional BP apparatus, NCD screening registers, and they displayed the IEC materials. While Less than 6% of the 60% of the facilities had NCD corner with signage, training manual, and the BP checklist posters. In this bar graph, here the proportion of the facilities with at least one staff nurse is displayed, where proportion is along the y-axis and the indicators are given along the x-axis. So here we found out that 98% of the facilities had at least one staff nurse and 75% of the facilities had one dedicated staff nurse for the NCD program activities. Of all the nurses that were interviewed, 60% were trained in hypertension screening. Of the total nurses who were observed during the study, for correct technique of measurement of blood pressure, we found 80% of them were correctly measuring the blood pressure. Regarding opportunistic screening, 74% of the eligible OPD attendees were screened for the hypertension, and among those who were screened, 1/4 of them were referred, and among them, 8% were diagnosed with hypertension. These are the results for treatment and follow-up aspect. Of the total facilities observed, more than 80% of them had registers for diagnosis and follow-up and had IC displayed for lifestyle modification, and they also had treatment protocol displayed in their OPDs. Of the 145 facilities, nearly 1/4 of them had a stockout of at least one drug in the past 3 months, wherein amlodipine was out of stock in 1/4 of the facilities and at least once in past 3 months. This bar graph shows the awareness of the medical officers interviewed regarding the hypertension management. Of the total medical officer interviewed, 9 out of 10 were aware of the first line of drug for the management of hypertension, but only 4 out of 10 were aware of the BP cutoff or blood pressure cutoff for the diagnosis of hypertension. This table shows process indicators for which beneficiaries were interviewed. We found out that 71% were counseled on salt restriction, although most of them had regular checkup for their blood pressure and they took the medications also regularly. Of the total individuals with hypertension interviewed, 45% of them had their blood pressure under control. Our study had some limitations. There was only a short duration of time for the collection of data, and the data was captured over 1 week. So we cannot generalize the findings for full year. Secondly, the duplicate screening cannot be ruled out. Also, there was a possibility of social desirability bias since the interviews were conducted in the presence of the facility staff, so the beneficiaries may have given more favorable responses. To conclude, regarding the treatment and follow-up aspect, half of the facilities observed did not have a NCD corner and NP-NCD training manual in their respective facilities. Although most facilities had at least one trained staff nurse, 1/4 of these facilities did not have a dedicated staff nurse for NCDs. 1/3 of the staff nurses were not trained in hypertension screening. Although 7 out of 10 eligible individuals were screened for hypertension, less than 1 in 10 of those screened were diagnosed with hypertension. In spite of most facilities having treatment protocol displayed, nearly 2/3 of the medical officers were not aware of the blood pressure cutoff for the hypertension management. And nearly 1/4 of the facilities reported stockout of at least one first-line drug in the past 3 months. And overall, less than half of the individuals with hypertension had their blood pressure under control. With this, our recommendations are to conduct refresher trainings with focus on the blood pressure cutoff and treatment protocol for medical officers, and for staff nurses on screening and blood pressure measurement. We also need to explore reasons for the drug stockout in the facilities to address the issue in order to ensure uninterrupted supply of drugs for the management of hypertension. Thank you all for your patience here.
Thank you, officers, for that excellent presentation. As we move forward in today's ceremony, we now have the privilege of hearing from the distinguished leaders who have consistently championed the public health, epidemiology, and capacity building in India. Their guidance and vision has played a significant role in strengthening field epidemiology and nurturing programs such as India FETP. It is my privilege to invite our chief guest, Dr. Manoj Murekar, Scientist G and Director from ICMR NI Chennai, to deliver the first special address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Murekar with a warm round of applause. Sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jeelam. Just a small correction. RBC is the chief guest. I am not the chief guest. Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. P.K. Patra sir, Dr. Khemraj Sonwani, Deputy Director and State Surveillance Officer, Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Chhattisgarh, Ms. Laurie Fuller, Deputy Country Director, CDC India, senior officials from Government of Chhattisgarh, my colleagues, Dr. Ganesh Kumar, Dr. Archana, Dr. Ramya, all the faculty mentors, graduating officers, their family members and friends. Jai Johar and a very good morning. Today, 16 officers from the second cohort of Intermediate Field Epidemiology Training Program in Chhattisgarh are graduating. And at the outset, I want to congratulate each one of you for successfully completing this course. As was told by Dr. Archana, this was an in-service program, unlike other programs that we conduct at NI, which are a full-term or full-time deputation program. And therefore, completing this course, I understand, was not easy. You completed this course while continuing your regular activities, regular job, looking after the primary health center or other programs that were assigned to you. But you took out time to attend contact sessions at Raipur, complete your field investigations, and meet all the academic requirements and CALs for this program. And I'm really proud for all your achievement. I also want to congratulate the Department of Health and Family Welfare and especially the State Surveillance Officer for supporting this program. Well, when we talk about preparedness for public health emergencies, future public health emergencies, we often talk about building hospitals, increasing the ICU capacity, increasing the ICU beds, isolation facilities, establishing laboratories, strengthening surveillance. Of course, these things are important and also necessary. But ultimately, a health system is only as strong as people who work in the system. It is indeed people who recognize unusual events, analyze the data, ask right questions, and then make timely public health decisions. And this is exactly what IFETP trained you to do. As was told earlier, NI has been into field epidemiology training program for last 26 years. And one principle which I like most about this FETP is learning by doing. The 14 graduating officers did not spend time studying hypothetical examples in the classroom in this university. You investigated outbreaks which occurred in the state, evaluated surveillance system, evaluated national programs which are currently ongoing in the state. And eventually the solutions that you identified or you developed that had a direct relevance to the community that they serve. And that's why FETP is considered as the most successful public health workforce development model globally. This morning we had two excellent presentations about the work done by the FETP trainees. The investigation on GBS syndrome, the Goenberry syndrome, showed how systematic epidemiological investigation could eventually lead to meaningful action. And although you did not reveal the suspense, I still was not aware as to why it caused the outbreak. And you also applied the same epidemiological principle for NCDs by evaluating the national program for non-communicable diseases. And the biggest lesson from both the presentation, I think, is that epidemiology is not about merely collecting data. It is about using data for better decisions, using data for action. And the real difference is made by people who know how to analyze the data and convert that data into action. And that, I think, is the most important skill or skill set that you have acquired in the last 1 year. I sincerely thank Government of Chhattisgarh for their commitment to build epi capacity in the state. And as was mentioned earlier, at the national level, there has been a strong push to scale up FETPs and to have one trained field epidemiologist at every district level. And by looking at the numbers, we already have 30 trained officers in the state, 28 from the intermediate program and 2 from the advanced program. So we already have 30 trained officers in the state. So I would also like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank our chief guest, Patra sir, and this university for hosting the contact sessions for this program and providing this program an academic house. A state-based program becomes much stronger when it is supported and by a committed academic institution. I also want to thank CDC India and especially Ms. Laurie Fuller and CDC India colleagues for their support and collaboration for this initiative of NIE. For last 2 decades or over last 2 decades, I would say, this collaborations has significantly contributed towards strengthening the field epidemiology capacity in India. As we celebrate the graduation ceremony, it is also appropriate basically to think about our next steps. And I have 2 suggestions to make here. Training officers in field epidemiology, I think, is just beginning. The real value of this program or real value of this training would be visible only when this knowledge and skill that the graduates have acquired will be fully utilized by the system. So my first suggestion, or I would say first request to the state surveillance officer and the state leadership would be to entrust these graduates to give these graduates a responsibility for which they are trained. And you know that they are trained in outbreak investigations, in evaluating surveillance system, evaluating health programs, and eventually making evidence-based decisions. So I think it will be best if you could utilize these trained graduates appropriately. Even you could consider placing them appropriately as a district surveillance officer. And this we have seen, as Dr. Archana mentioned, we have more than 300 plus graduates, both from intermediate as well as advanced program. But one challenge that we found is the states, these graduates are never placed at appropriate, are never placed appropriately so that the skills that they have acquired are utilized. So, for example, somebody is trained in epidemiology or field epidemiology, and they never have an opportunity to use the skill set that they have acquired. So my sincere request to SSO sir is to utilize their knowledge and skills appropriately. My second suggestion is about institutionalizing FETP. And this suggestion is both to VC sir as well as to SSO sir. Dr. Ganesh Kumar mentioned yesterday that the Institute of Epidemiology will be fully functional in a few months' time. The recruitment of additional manpower, especially epidemiologists, for this institute is currently ongoing. And we already have 34 graduates, 30 graduates, both from intermediate and advanced programs. And I feel the state is in unique position to create a structured program where FETP graduates and this university could support and train the future cohorts of FETP. And NI will be very happy to support you in this initiative. So please consider that we don't end this the training, the field epidemiology training with these two cohorts. We need to institutionalize this program so that future batches could be trained with the help of Institute of Epidemiology as well as the trained graduates from the two cohorts of NIE. Now let me say a few words to the graduating officers. And today you would be receiving your completion certificates. I know you are eagerly waiting for that. But I really don't see that is the most important thing for you. I think the most important thing that you have achieved in the last 1 year is the skill set that is required for a trained field epidemiologist. And the best use of this skill set would be to apply it in your day-to-day practice. And I have basically 3 suggestions to make to all the graduating officers. First is never lose a habit of approaching any public health problem systematically. Whenever you encounter an unusual event like a GBS syndrome or a cluster of flaccid paralysis, resist temptation to jump to conclusions. Have a systematic approach, define your problem clearly, as Ganesh Kumar mentioned, have a proper case definitions, collect reliable data, analyze the evidence, consider alternative explanations, and then decide appropriate actions. And this approach will certainly be very useful to you in your future practice of public health. The second suggestion that I have with you is share your knowledge and skills with your colleagues. You may be the only person in your district who have been trained in field epidemiology, and other program officers or other colleagues might not have got this opportunity. So be mentors to them, encourage them to ask questions as to how to use the data and think scientifically. After all, it is not the responsibility of only the state health department or this university to build the field epidemiology capacity in the state. It is also your responsibility. So be mentors to them and so that the system really improves. And the third suggestion, maybe a selfish suggestion, is be connected with NIE. Don't, your mentors, your faculty mentors, the course coordinator, be in touch with you. We really would like to know your growth, your progress, and keep in touch with NIE. And before I conclude, I would like to acknowledge and thank the entire ICMR NIE team for successfully completing 2 cohorts in Chhattisgarh. And I want to sincerely appreciate the efforts of Dr. Ganesh Kumar, Dr. Archana, Dr. Sharan, who unfortunately is not here, Dr. Ramya, other faculty mentors including Dr. Jilam, Dr. Nason, Dr. Mohan, and other mentors who really spent their time guided you in completing this course. In closing, I want to once again convey my heartfelt congratulations to all the officers for completing this course. I also want to take this opportunity to sincerely thank Government of Chhattisgarh for its vision to build the field epidemiology capacity in the state, this university, and CDC India for continued support and collaboration in a nice initiative. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and thought-provoking address. As we continue today's program, we now have the privilege of hearing from a distinguished public health leader representing the government of Chhattisgarh, whose continuous support has played an important role in strengthening disease surveillance and public health services across the state. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Khemraj Sonwani, sir, Deputy Director and State Surveillance Officer, Chhattisgarh, to deliver the second special address. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request you to welcome him with a warm round of applause.
Respected Dr. P.K. Patra sir, Dr. Manoj sir, Laurie ma'am, Dr. Archana ma'am, and Dr. P. Ganesan. It is my privilege to participate in this graduation ceremony of graduates from field epidemiology trainings. Basically, with these 3 slides, I came back to my journey in 1995. I was recalling my post-graduation tenure in GRMC Medical College, Gwalior. बेसिकली उस समय जब हम पीजी कर रहे थे तो पूरे वार्ड में लगभग ऐसा कोई दिन नहीं होता था जिस दिन 1 या 2 जीबीएस केस नहीं होते थे या 2 या 3 स्ट्रोक केसेस मैनेज नहीं कर रहे होते थे। और आज की स्थिति काफ़ी डिफरेंट है। तो आई हैव जॉइंड इन 1996 इन एज अ मेडिकल ऑफिसर इन द स्टेट सर्विस आफ्टर graduation in the medicine. इस एमओ जैसे ही हमने ज्वाइन किया इस मेडिकल ऑफिसर इन स्मॉल PHC, and after a few weeks I have attended one epidemics, that is acute diarrheal disease. तो उस समय कुछ सिचुएशंस नहीं थे हमारे पास, कुछ मोबिलिटी भी नहीं था, मतलब तो हम उस जो छोटे से बस्ती थे झुग्गी, उसमें एक IV ड्रिप सेट लेके हमारे टीम के साथ जाते थे। वो हाउस में ही मैनेज करते थे कि DVD कैसे मैनेज करना है। जहाँ लाइट भी नहीं होता था, खड़े होने का हाइट भी नहीं होती थी। वो जो घर था वो उतना हाइट भी नहीं था कि वहाँ हम खड़े हो पाए। तो वो सिचुएशन था और आज की सिचुएशन काफ़ी सिनेरियो बदल गया है। उसके बाद फिर एज अ स्टेट ऑफिसर आई ज्वाइन इन 2018 एज अ स्टेट सर्वेलेंस ऑफिसर। उस समय कोई एपिडेमियोलॉजिस्ट नहीं थे मेरे साथ, केवल हमारे साथ जो ज़िले में डाटा मैनेजर थे तो उनसे हम ऐसे एपिडेमियोलॉजी का काम ले रहे थे। उनको लोकल लेवल पे जितना हम ग्रोन अप कर पा रहे थे एज अ डाटा एनालिस्ट, तो वो एपिडेमियोलॉजी काम हम डाटा मैनेजर से कोशिश कर रहे थे, उनसे हम काम कर सके। ड्यूरिंग कोविड पीरियड सिचुएशन और काफ़ी चेंज हो गया था। कोविड के समय 2 ग्रेजुएट्स हैं मेरे जो भी हमारे साथ जो जिनको भी सर्टिफिकेशन होना है जो 2 मेरे साथ डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में काम कर रहे थे और 2 स्टेट में काम कर रहे थे। तो हम लोग क्लोज कोऑर्डिनेशन में काम कर रहे थे और उस समय भी ऐसे एपिडेमियोलॉजिस्ट कोई नहीं थे। लेकिन हम कोशिश किए तो उस समय नीड ऐसा लगा कि वाकई एपिडेमियोलॉजिस्ट की ज़रूरत है। और थैंक यू फॉर दिस ICMR एंड CDC कि आज हमको ट्रेन स्किल पर्सन्स प्रोवाइड कर पाएँ स्टेट के लिए। नेचुरली ये अपॉर्चुनिटी है एज अ टीम लीडर फॉर IDSP इन द स्टेट कि आज इतने ग्रेजुएट्स हो गए हैं जो एपिडेमियोलॉजी में हमको स्किल अप हैं। और जैसा कि डॉक्टर मनोज सर ने हमको निर्देश दिए हैं, अकॉर्डिंगली सर वी हैव इशूड request whatever guidance we have issued some guidance to districts कि इनको जो स्किल्ड पर्सन है जो ट्रेन किए हैं फिर एपिडेमियोलॉजी में उनसे एपिडेमियोलॉजी का काम लिया जाए। हालांकि ऐसा DSO पोजीशन वी आर अनएबल टू प्रोवाइड ऐसा DSO पोजीशन, बट वी विल ट्राई टू एस्टेब्लिश सम ऐसा सेकंड लाइन मैनेजर ऐसे एपिडेमियोलॉजिस्ट इन द फील्ड। दूसरा जो मैं आई आल्सो रिक्वेस्ट दिस ग्रेजुएट दिस बैच एंड प्रीवियस बैच आल्सो कि जो भी हम देखना चाहते हैं फील्ड में जो भी हेल्थ इंफॉर्मेशंस मिलती है उसको सिंपल ना लें। जो भी सूचना मिलती है उसको अपने जो ऐसा स्किल्ड पर्सन हमको उस वे में देखने की ज़रूरत है। तो जो भी ग्रेजुएट्स जहाँ भी काम कर रहे हैं तो मेरा रिक्वेस्ट होगा कि आप जिस पोजीशन में हैं जो भी सिचुएशन है आपको टास्क मिले या ना मिले, डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स CMHO आपको ऑर्डर करे या ना करे व्हाटएवर, कोई ज़रूरी नहीं कि सारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफिसर्स हैं डिस्ट्रिक्ट इंचार्ज हैं वो आपको उसी नज़र से या उसी वे से आपको हैंडल करें, आपसे काम लें, कोई ज़रूरी नहीं है। लेकिन आपकी जिम्मेदारी है कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जो भी हेल्थ इवेंट्स हो रहा है उसको ऐसे एपिडेमियोलॉजिस्ट देखने की ज़रूरत है, आइदर कम्युनिकेबल डिजीज़ या NCD व्हाटएवर हेल्थ इवेंट्स। तो मेरा रिक्वेस्ट है कि जो स्किल्स आपने एक्वायर किया है उसको प्रॉपरली साइंटिफिक बेस पे एज पर एविडेंस हम क्रिएट कर पाएँ, ताकि जो अभी सिनेरियो है काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम्स होता है फील्ड में, तो लोगों को हम उस स्टेज में ना ले जाएं जिस स्टेज में हम 1995 में काम करते थे कि पूरे वार्ड में स्ट्रोक्स और GBS को मैनेज करते रहते थे। तो हमारा नज़रिया उस टाइम में ऐसा PG स्टूडेंट्स उतना ही रहता था कि केस को मैनेज करना है और डिस्चार्ज करना है। लेकिन अभी से हमारा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बढ़ गई है कि हम प्रिवेंट कर पाएँ जो इस तरह की सिचुएशंस हमारे वार्ड में देखने को ना मिले। मैं सभी एपिडेमियोलॉजिस्ट जो स्किल्ड हैं उनसे यही एक्सपेक्ट करूंगा कि मेडिसिन वार्ड इन केसेस से खाली रहे। थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging words. We are privileged to have with us the representative from the US Center for Disease Control and Prevention, India, a valued partner in strengthening field epidemiology capacity and public health systems. May I now request Laurie Fuller to kindly come on stage and deliver your special address. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming her with a warm round of applause.
Thank you very much. Distinguished colleagues, Dr. P.K. Patra, Vice Chancellor, Pandit Deendayal, Ayush University, Chhattisgarh, Dr. Manoj Ankar, Director, ICMR, NIE, Dr. Khemraj Sonwani, Deputy Director, State Surveillance Officer, Government of Chhattisgarh, Dr. Ganesh, Dr. Anshra, Dr. Ramya, FETP officer, friends, colleagues, good afternoon. It's such a pleasure to be here with you all today, and I would like to first thank the government of Chhattisgarh as well as ICMR NIE for inviting me to be here with you all today on this important day. On behalf of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, I'd like to congratulate all 16 intermediate, FETP officers on this remarkable achievement. This is such a truly wonderful accomplishment and actually reflects the commitment of the state, as well as protecting the public's health and strengthening the health system writ large here in the state. The Field Epidemiology Training Program is based on the principles and the core values of the U.S. Epidemic Intelligence Services, or better known as the EIS program, and its models of learning by doing, as Dr. Marakar just previously spoke. FETP employs a supervised, service-based learning approach to build and sustain a skilled public health workforce that's capable of detecting, investigating, responding to health threats, including disease outbreaks, to save lives and reduce morbidity. Varied models exist for field epidemiology training programs, including the US EIS program, the three-tiered FETP program model, the public health schools without walls, as well as the European program for intervention epidemiology training. But the core approach remains the same for all, and that is the learning by doing model. This is through the mentoring as well as the practical field experience that you all have been through for the past year. By now, all of the graduating officers here today must appreciate the importance of that and have had quite an experience with that. Since the inception of the CDC EIS program in 1951, the U.S. has actually graduated over 4,100 disease detectives. FETP was conceptualized in the early 1980s in response to the need for global support with public health capabilities. So in 1980, the U.S. supported the establishment of the first program in Thailand. And then thereafter has been, the program has actually been established in Latin America, Asia, Europe, or Eastern Europe, I should say, Middle East, with over 25,000 graduates from more than 90 countries. So would like to congratulate you on joining this distinguished group. The US CDC has been collaborating with the government of India to strengthen public health capacities through FETP since 2010. We are extremely proud of this collaboration. India has already come a very long way in establishing the FETP programs through the various implementation models across the three tiers of FETP, the 2-year advanced, as well as the 1-year intermediate program and the 3-month frontline program. So congratulations. As this program grows, it is essential to maintain the quality standards as well as the trusted respect of the program, the FETP program. The goal is to increase the number of the highly capable field epidemiologists who can make a real difference in responding to health threats when every moment counts. You know, we often say the program is developing disease detectives. I like to think of it as disease heroes, whereby those that are trained in this run toward the outbreak rather than running away or the front line. Now that you have completed the program, I sincerely request, though, of all of you graduates to volunteer to serve as an FETP mentor. That is part of the unique goodness of this program. Giving back to the FETP network is crucial. By expanding the pool of qualified mentors, it will help, in essence, maintain the quality standards that you have just gone through and will continue, and further enhance your own epidemiological skills. The US CDC remains committed to supporting the government of India's vision to strengthen the national public health system's capacity to prevent, detect, and respond to disease outbreaks and health threats. We will continue to support this ambitious initiative to expand FEPT training to achieve the international health regulations target of 1 trained epidemiologist per 2 lakh people, which equates to more than 7,000 trained FETP officers across India. And we will work alongside FETP partners to ensure global quality standards and technical excellence are maintained. Our partnership with ICMR NIE is a partnership built on shared goals, mutual learning to enhance global health security for all. So with those few remarks, I would like to congratulate all 16 officers. You've done it. Congratulations. This is a very important day, but as stated earlier, it's the start of the beginning here. So I'm certain that these skills that you've acquired and the knowledge that you've gained during this training have positioned you each to be responsive to public health threats in your respective jurisdictions. As FETP officers, you are problem solvers. I am confident that the program has equipped you with the data-driven approaches and epidemiologic methods required to solve problems, contain health threats, and save lives. I wish you all each the very best in your future endeavors. Lastly, I would like to thank and congratulate the state, as well as Dr. Manoj and his team, including Ganesh, Antra, Ramya Sharan, who's unfortunately not here, and colleagues from the various implementing partners for all the hard work and dedication to this program. So with those few remarks, thank you very much.
Thank you, Laurie. Your inspiring words really mean to us. Ladies and gentlemen, every graduation ceremony has a defining moment, a moment when graduates are formally welcomed into a larger professional community and remind us the responsibility that accompany their achievements. It is particularly significant that today's graduation ceremony is being hosted at this esteemed institution, reflecting the university's commitment to promoting public health education and professional development. To formally address our graduate officer on this momentous occasion, it is my privilege to invite the chair of today's graduation ceremony, Dr. P.K. Patra, sir. He will deliver the convocation address. Please join us extending a warm welcome to sir.
सभी को नमस्कार. Thank you, Dr. Jeelam, for the kind word. Today's this FETP, the intermediate cohort 2 graduation ceremony. Our guest, Dr. Manoj Murekar, the director NIE Chennai, Dr. Khemraj Sonwani, the deputy director of our state, Miss Laurie Fuller, the deputy country director CDC India, Dr. Ganesh, the scientist EICMR, the NIA Chennai, Dr. Archana, scientist AP, and Dr. Ramaya, the scientist C of the Chennai, NIA, I think, and all the graduating officers, the delegates, all my faculties from the university, my registrar, Dr. Dinesh Sinha, and dear friends. It's a really proud and privileged moment for me. And I extend the sincere thanks to the NIA Chennai invite me and honoring me. And I am really sincerely thankful to Dr. Manoj and their team accepting my university, my request, and they are helping the establishing the epidemiological institutes in my university. I am really extending my sincere thanks to you, sir. And I'll request, please convey my regards to Dr. Rajiv Val, the DG ICMR, because he is associated with us in our research, that is the sickle cell, the CRISPR gene editing mission. He's really, I think, he's a wonderful guy, helping directly and monitoring the work. This I have got a strong regards for him. Yes, previously also your ICMR people has helped me a lot. Even Dr. Ganguly, when he was DG, also visited my place and helped me to establish my lab. And Dr. Kotoch also, he gave me one project, that is the bioinformatic project. Basically, I am a sickle cell worker, sickle cell anemia. And at that time, I had near about 20 lakh sample analyzed. So I was facing difficulty to manage the data, and he helped me to giving the project of bioinformatics center in my place, that is the Raipur Medical College. I am really thankful to ICMR also and Dr. Manoj specially. And again, I request Dr. Manoj, please help me establishing these epidemiological institutes. It will be a great help to my state. That I was recalling my MBBS period when the epidemiology, these graduate students, those who will be graduated today, they were sharing their project and their experience. I was MBBS students in 1983 to 89 in Burla Medical College, that is in Sambalpur, Odisha. So, in my period, that time, that the social work also not very much encouraging. But what we are doing, that collecting the sample medicine from the professors in the doctor's colony, and in the Sunday we are usually we are visiting a place, the remote place, to help the needy people. Same context, in the 89, that is my intensive period, we visited a 1 week health camp in a very remote place in Odisha, in the Cohort district. At that time it was very remote, because we faced that people that they were ignorant about the using salt even. That is in 89 story I am telling. So there, this village, we are just examining almost 30, more than 30, that is the age between 10 to 15, every individual having the murmur, and they were rheumatic disease. And also in the adult we found this mitral stenosis and regurgitation. So at that time it was not very, that knowledge was not with me, that epidemiological survey to be done, and but it clicked me why this rheumatic disease is very much prevalent. What is the cause? So I came from the camp and I discussed with our cardiology professor, and I make them help again a special camp to the village. Having at that time this Penidior LA6 was given for the penicillin staphylococcus infection, staphylococcus. That time, so all the cardiology people, that student, they are senior resident, and they made a camp and we can help. But it was not very systematic as we are feeling that the epidemiological graduate today that gave, that time was not very systematic. But that is the help we did for this. So my impression to this all, that I should really appreciate the effort by NIA the Chennai did, that you came here and graduate as the epidemiology expert. So really, I'll request you all to have a big clap to the Chennai NIA. They help. It's a great help to the state, and whatever that they did. There's a Gulenberry survey or a hypertension. I'll request this. Our statistics, our data is so poor. Even we cannot spell out what is the real data of hypertension in our community or in our place. So the real research you have to do, and you people, as Dr. Manoj told, that you people please apply your knowledge, whatever you are taught, and you'll be very helpful to the government to make the policy and to help the people. It's a really great help, because at that ambitions, our previous Vice Chancellor, Dr. A.T. Dapke, he established this epidemiological unit here. So, but unfortunately, it is not fully functional. So, we have now got approved from the government of Chhattisgarh, the scientist and the professor's appointment. So, we'll do very soon, and that is the help I will be needing from you people. So there's we are just in the morning, Dr. Ganesh was just discussing this, we can organize a workshop here, how to write the project. The ICMR is regularly doing. I think you people also can do this type of effort to help our state, because in the field, in medical college also, it is not a very common the research in the state medical college. So that will be encouraging, and really also we feel that so many the doctors and faculty, even they don't know how to write the project. We should admit it, and that should be, it is a very high time to know, and our field doctors also, they should know. They will also contribute a lot to the scientific field in our country, because the government of India is very keen nowadays for the health research. And ICMR is now doing the very wonderful job. You all are witness the ICMR did that the corona vaccine. It's a great job for the country. So nowadays also the ICMR doing very good job, and that is an example that I didn't request Dr. Ganesh. He himself spoke me in the very short, within 2 minutes, he spoke me that we should do a joint in the September, October. I told you can, it's a very high time we can do. It may be the hybrid mode we can do this. Those who can join in the physically, or they can be in the virtually also, they can join. And I request all this, the epidemiological graduate, and the first cohort also I was there. So, and almost 30 officers are now trained regarding the epidemiology, and so they also joined in that workshop, how to write a project, and you can also get the project and you can do a research. Though you are staying in the very remote places, very simple research you can do. Because when I started work here, that sickle cell, I don't have a simple electrophoresis apparatus. And but gradually I did the work, and your work will speak. You need not to speak about your work. Work will speak. And I was telling, I joined here in the Raipur Medical College in 1996, and I started because I was working in the sickle cell works since 1985 when I was an MBBS student. So I saw there is no facilities here. But I started simply the solubility test. I modified the solubility test, and which will be compatible to my remote places where there is no refrigeration. So this I modified, and I started, that is in 97, 98. And in 2005, Dr. Lalji Singh came to one of my meeting, and he appreciated me, and he told that you are competing with CCMB. That is the appreciation I got from Lalji. So that was a so wonderful laboratory I established here only. So I request you all, please do work, and you will be appreciated. You will definitely appreciated, and it will be a great help to the country. So that is my request to you all. And again, I request Manoj to help us to establish the epidemiological lab. And day to day, whatever the things I can help, I am ready to help you. And again, I thanks you all, and especially the NIA Chennai inviting me, and they honored me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring convocation address. Your words have beautifully captured the essence of public service, lifelong learning, and professional responsibility. I'm certain that our graduate officer will carry your message with them as they continue to serve the people of Chhattisgarh and contribute to strengthening India's public health system. Today, before we formally confer the course certificate upon the graduates, it is only fitting that we pause to acknowledge those whose commitment has made this journey possible. I invite Dr. Ganesh Kumar to lead the honoring of mentors now. Thank you, sir. Is he there? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
You need to invite also. I will take care.
Yes.
So now I request the distinguished dignitaries to please come on the stage. We will be first honoring the mentors who supported this field epidemiology training program. They spent hours of many of their evenings were spared, many of their weekends were spared, and they really put their heart and soul into it. There are 4 important people who actually supported this program of the Cohort 2 program. There are 2 are present here. And first I will tell those who were not here and couldn't join. Number 1 is that Dr. Nason. Dr. Nason has supported in and out, and he has been throughout the entire journey of the Chhattisgarh, both in Cohort 1 and Cohort 2. Dr. Mohan Kaparavin, and he was also very supportive, one of the favorite mentor of many of the trainees here. They couldn't join here, but who are here who actually supported this particular activity. I wanted to invite Dr. Ramya, one of the most important mentor who actually supported this program, been very instrumental, very assertive, pushing the scholars, and I request the dignitaries to please honor Ramya by giving this appreciation certificate. Please give him a great hand. The other person who was very, Dr. Ramya, please be on the stage. The other person who actually been right from organizing, coordinating, mentoring, and also had a kind of as a great friend to all the mentees is Ms. Jeelam Mitra. And I request Ms. Jeelam Mitra to please come on stage. We always bet on her whenever there is an outbreak, whenever there is an investigation or supervised mentoring. I request the distinguished dignitaries to please honor Jeelam Mitra with the certificate. Thank you very much. I request the dignitaries to please be there. Now we will be heading towards the next most important occasion of the day, which is the graduation ceremony. I hand over the dais to Jilam Mitra.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. So we have now arrived at the most awaited and memorable moment of today's graduation ceremony. I request our distinguished dignitaries to kindly felicitate the certificates to our graduating officers. I request the photographers to capture the moments nicely. Dear graduates, as your name is announced, may I request you to kindly walk up to the stage from my right side to receive your certificates. We request family members and guests to remain seated. Our official photographer will capture individual photographs of every graduate, and these photographs will be shared after the program. Everyone, please join me in congratulating each graduating officer with your warm applause as they receive their certificates. Dr. Abhay Jugal, please come on stage. District Epidemiologist from Korea. Akanksha Rana, State Microbiologist. Continue the applause, please. Anamika Vishwas. Let's keep clapping for them. The day belongs to them. Anamika Vishwas. She's the District Manager, Urban Damtari. Dr. Avinash Keshwani, ADNO NPNCD, Baloda Bazar. Dr. Chainika Nath, State Entomologist. Mirza Tosher Ahmed Beg, Block DBD Supervisor, Mungeli. Pankaj Singh, District Epidemiologist, Bilashpur. Gaikwad, District Consultant, Raipur. Ritika Samuel Mahesh, District Epidemiologist, Gur. Roshan Satdeva, DPC, Sarangarh, Bilaigarh. Sandeep Mishra, Balod, Rural Medical Assistant. Satyendra Kumar Yadav, District Epidemiologist, Jashpur. Shweta Sharma, State Consultant, IDSP. Dr. Vidya S, Nodal Officer in Charge, Kairak, KCJ. Congratulations to each one of our graduates, ladies and gentlemen. Another well-deserved round of applause for the graduating officers. I request Registrar Sir from the University to come on stage and felicitate our dignitaries on the stage with the memento from the Institute. I request the dignitaries to come forward. Dr. Manoj Murekar. Thank you, sir. Ms. Fuller. Dr. Archana. Dr. Ramya. Dr. Sonwani. And Dr. P. Ganesh Kumar. Thank you, sir, for this wonderful gesture. Please remain on the stage. I request the dignitaries to be on the stage. May I request all dignitaries to come forward for a group photograph. I also request the graduating officers with their certificates, the university official presence here to come forward. We will now take a group. Tuck in. Kim, tuck in. Yeah. Just go closer. I'll manage. Madam, come in. Dear sir and madam, please take back your seats. I request all the dignitaries as well to please take back their seat on the audience. Congratulations once again on this remarkable achievements, officers. We are truly proud of you. To conclude today's ceremony, I invite Dr. Archana to deliver the vote of thanks. Ma'am, could you please come forward on the stage? Yeah.
Thank you, Jilam, and a good afternoon to everyone. Jai Johar. As we come to the close of this wonderful ceremony, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. Today we celebrate not just the completion of a course, but the culmination of a journey, one built on the powerful idea of learning by doing, under the guidance of dedicated mentors. This is at the very heart of field epidemiology training program. Every outbreak that you have investigated, every data set analyzed, every field visit undertaken by our graduating officers over the past months has strengthened not only their own capabilities, but also the surveillance and health systems of Chhattisgarh as a whole. This is precisely the vision of the ICMR National Institute of Epidemiology that it holds dear, and it is why this program remains so close to our hearts. Our heartfelt thanks to Dr. Kemraj Sonwani, Deputy Director and State Surveillance Officer, DHS Chhattisgarh, for gracing this occasion on behalf of the State Health Department and for their continuous partnership with us, without which this training program would not have been possible. To Ms. Laurie Fuller, Deputy Director, CDC India, our sincere thanks for your presence here today and for CDC's vital support for the India FETP programs. This partnership between ICMR and CDC has been very crucial to scaling up FETP in India. Thank you. We are deeply grateful to Dr. P.K. Patra sir, Vice Chancellor, Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay Memorial, Health Sciences and Ayush University of Chhattisgarh, for so graciously chairing this convocation and for allowing us to host this graduation ceremony within these things. Thank you to the both of you. To our devoted faculty, consultants and mentors, Dr. Sharan, who's not here, Dr. Abhishek, Dr. Giri, Dr. Kimberly, Dr. Ribu, Dr. Aishwarya, Dr. Ashwini, thank you for all the countless hours that you have invested behind the scenes. It means a lot to all of us. And a very special note of thanks to Dr. Nason and Morgan, who could not be with us in person today, but whose mentorship was instrumental in shaping this batch. Their fingerprints are on every field project presented here today, and the contribution to this cohort's journey has been invaluable. We want both of them to know that their impact is felt here today, even in their absence. We would like to place on record our sincere thanks to Dr. Ganesh, Course Coordinator India FETP, for his tireless efforts in coordinating this batch and several other batches from start to finish. His hands-on involvement has been felt at every stage in this cohort's journey. I would like to express our deepest gratitude to Dr. Manoj Murekar, our beloved director. It is his steadfast support, encouragement, administrative will that has made it possible for us to run this state-level intermediate FETP cohorts. None of what we celebrate today, sir, would not have been achievable without your backing, and we owe our sincerest thanks to you. No event, of course, comes together without the hands that built it. We would like to thank our people who arranged the audiovisual systems, our caterers, the support staff, and everyone who's worked today. Your efforts, often unseen, are deeply appreciated, and this ceremony would simply not have been possible without all of you. Finally, to our graduating officers of the IFETP Chhattisgarh Cohort 2, a big congratulations. Your dedication to the field, your late nights in the district, the calls that you had with your mentors, your commitment to protecting public health have brought you all here today. We are proud of each and every one of you, and we look forward to watching you carry this training forward so that you can strengthen surveillance and outbreak response for your state of Chhattisgarh. Thank you all once again for being part of today's journey and for making this graduation ceremony a truly memorable one. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for expressing our collective gratitude so gracefully. To everyone who contributed to the success of this program, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request everyone present in the auditorium to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you. Kindly be seated for a moment. Lunch is now being served at the Teachers Training Institute building on the first floor, room number 220-220. We hope you enjoy the rest of the afternoon and take this opportunity to reconnect, celebrate, and reflect on the wonderful journey that has brought us together today. Thank you once again for joining us. Have a pleasant afternoon, everyone. Thank you.